This is Tanghulu. It's this incredible dessert made of candied fruit. And these are cotton candy grapes, which are grapes that taste like cotton candy. So today we're making cotton candy Tanghulu. Start by washing the grapes. You don't want those nasty bacteria, and pluck them off the vine. Next, you're going to place them onto skewers and then set that aside. In a pan, mix 1 cup of sugar and a half cup of water. Mix it together and then place it on the heat, but then don't mix it when it starts to boil. Let it boil for a few minutes until it gets really thick and syrupy. To test if it's done, place a skewer in the sugar syrup and then in a glass of ice water, and if the sugar is super hard, then you're ready to go. Swirl the grapes in the sugar syrup until it's completely coated and then let it cool for a few minutes. There you have cotton candy or cotton candy grape Tanghulu. Now for the taste test. These were so good, they tasted just like fruity cotton candy. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and YouTube for more content.
Do you like Yum Yum sauce as much as my kids do? Here's how I make it. And of course, this is just a base recipe. It can be completely altered to your liking. You can also cut it in half or store the leftovers in the fridge up to 2 weeks. Mix 2 cups of mayonnaise with 2 tablespoons each of melted butter, tomato paste, garlic powder, paprika, and granulated sugar, and 1 tablespoon each of onion powder and sea salt. If you like some heat, you could add red pepper flakes or some hot sauce. Stir all of this to combine, then add up to 1/3 cup of water, adding just a little bit at a time and stirring it in until it's the consistency that you like. We like to do 1 tablespoon of lime juice, but instead you could do 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar.
Spicy honey glazed shrimp. Let's go. You're gonna salt and pepper your shrimp. Give your shrimp a light coating of cornstarch. Put the shrimp aside, and now let's make our glaze. 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, trust me. 3 tablespoons of honey, 1 teaspoon of chili flakes, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. That's what good sauce sounds like. On high heat, pan sear the shrimp, a minute on each side. In the same pan, add your glaze. Let it bubble for a minute or 2 and add your shrimp. When you see that there's barely any sauce left, that's when it's done. Let's taste test. Oh my God! Chef's kiss.
If you can't decide whether you want to eat the cookie dough or the cookie, this incredible chocolate chip cookie recipe is perfect. Start with 2 sticks of cold butter and cube it. Add it to your mixer along with 1 cup of brown sugar and a half cup of white sugar. Mix that in a mixer or hand mixer until nice and creamy. Next, crack in 2 eggs one at a time and mix in between each one. Next, add a dash of vanilla, then 1½ cups of cake flour and 1½ cups of all-purpose flour. Add a teaspoon of cornstarch, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. Stir that on low speed just until combined and add about a bag of chocolate chips. Honestly, it's as much as you want. And this is the incredible cookie dough. Form 8 giant cookies on your baking sheet and bake at 400 degrees for 10 minutes or until golden. Look at those. This is the best chocolate chip cookie recipe ever. These cookies are doughy and delicious. If you like them more solid, you can bake them at a lower temperature for longer. But honestly, I owe it to this recipe for making like half of my friends.
In my family, we like to make ice cream pies for lots of special occasions. Today I'm going to make an Oreo cookie ice cream pie. Start with an Oreo pie crust and add chocolate syrup. Next, add all the ice cream and smooth it out. Next, get a tub of Cool Whip and smooth that all over the ice cream. Next, we get to decorate. I like to start with a swirl of chocolate syrup and then an Oreo for every slice of pie. Next, I like to add a bunch of crushed Oreos. Wrap it up and freeze a few hours, and then you'll be ready to cut your pie.
Woke up in your new apartment in your twin-sized bed. Coffee starting, don't remember.
Time for Cosmic Brownies Part 2. Alright, now this is the hardest part. Once your brownies are baked off, they have to cool completely before you can put the ganache on top. There's no exceptions to this rule. And for the record, these babies took about 30 minutes to bake for me. Add 1.5 cups of chocolate chips to a bowl. Now bring half a cup of heavy whipping cream to a boil. I just do mine in the microwave for 1 minute. Pour that cream over those chocolate chips and let it set for a minute. Stir the ganache until it's smooth. Look at how smooth that is. Now pour that ganache over the brownies and even it out. Now let it set at room temperature for 20 minutes before we add our sprinkles. Here comes the best part. It is time for sprinkles. These are also vegan and gluten-free, just so you know. I will eventually do a gluten-free version of these brownies on here. Carefully press your sprinkles into the ganache. All right, now cut them in half and then cut each half into quarters. And there you have it, Cosmic Brownies.